killed 86 people. At the time, Secretary Clinton said this. Madam Secretary, appreciate your time tonight. Thank you very much for appearing on The Factor. I hope you see you in person soon. Thanks again.
I would look forward to that. Thanks, Bill. Take care.
Well, so far, we have not been able to book Mrs. Clinton, despite the fact that her staff told us an interview would happen, and time is growing short. We hope she will do what she said she would do. On the other hand, Mr. Trump has appeared on The Factor 47 times since he announced his candidacy. Here are some of the highlights. ISIS. How are you going to defeat ISIS?
I would hit them so hard. I would find our proper general. I would find the Patton or the MacArthur. I would hit them so hard your head would spin. Now remember, and I sent you the document, I said in 2004 we should not go in and do that whole thing with Iraq. It was a disaster because I said that Iran will take over and it'll totally destabilize the Middle East. But there's nobody bigger or better at the military than I am.
Are you telling me you're going to send American ground troops into Syria?
I'm not telling you anything. And the reason I'm not is because if I run and I win, I don't want them to know the game plan.
Okay.
Let me
but
just say something.
If you want to hit them hard,
I'm probably going to have to say I have a way that would be very effective with respect to ISIS.
It's a Muslim registry controversy. What do you want there? What's your vision?
Well, it's very simple. When they come in from Syria, guest of President Obama, we shouldn't be taking any because we have no idea where they come from, who they are. They have no paperwork. There's no way of proving that their paperwork is correct. When they come in from Syria, I want them to be registered because we just don't know who they are. We don't know where they come from. We don't know if they're ISIS, and we don't know if they have evil intentions. So I want them registered.
All right, but they will be if they get papers to come here. ICE, Homeland Security, will know who they are, will know where they go. So what you want is a reality already, is it not?
No, what I want is I don't want them to come here.
The Philadelphia Daily News, a tabloid, puts you on page 1 looking like Hitler. Does that kind of stuff bother you personally?
Certainly I don't like it. I think it's disgraceful that they're allowed to do it. I am a person that is, I'm in the forefront of something that's never, I guess, been done before. I've been called by very, very respected writers saying they've never seen anything like this happen in American politics. It affects my family. They don't like seeing their father or their husband ridiculed. But in the end, they're very smart people. And they say, well, wait a minute, they're after you because you're up by 20 points and you've done something that's never been done before in American politics. And you can tell them to go themselves.
Did you write that yourself?
No, I didn't use the word. I never said the word, Bill. I don't know who told you I would never use the word. I didn't say the word. I said you can tell them to go themselves.
But
I never said the word.
The lips kind of moved in the...
well, they might have. No, I didn't say that. I wouldn't do that. Hey, Bill, even I wouldn't do that.
The strategy that you're going to use against Hillary Clinton is that she's not suitable to be president because she's not honest. That's your strategy, right?
She's not honest. She's not super. I don't even think she's capable. You look at her decisions. I mean, take a look at where she's gone. Every decision she's made practically, she's made so many bad decisions. She would be a disaster as president of our country.
Okay.
Look at Benghazi. She was sleeping when the phone call came in. She did the ad on the phone call at 3 in the morning. She was sleeping. She was sound asleep.
This Khan situation, in hindsight, wouldn't it have been smarter for your campaign just to pretty much ignore him?
Well, I was watching television. I said, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? And all of a sudden I was viciously attacked on the stage of the Democratic National Convention by Mr. Khan, and I responded to that vicious attack. I understand that, but, part of it is I read a lot and I watch a lot, and many, many people discussed this. Many, many people, they said it. So when I said it, it became like a big deal, and that's the way it is.
You tweeted today, it is so nice that the shackles have been taken off me and I can now fight for America the way I want to. What exactly does that mean?
The shackles are some of the establishment people that are weak and ineffective people within the Republican Party, senators and others, and Paul Ryan, led to a certain extent by Paul Ryan.
They were holding
being
you
nasty
back?
to the nominee.
They were holding you back?
Not a question holding back, no, but they're not giving support. They don't give the kind of support. We got more votes, more than 14 million votes, more than anybody in the history of the Republican primaries, Bill. and they don't give the support that we really need.
A reminder, we are hoping to have Donald Trump live here tomorrow for an extensive interview, and there is plenty more ahead as the Factor moves along this evening. New poll says voters are stressed out over the presidential race. Miller has some advice. Back to follow-up segment tonight, politically correct madness on college campuses. Monday's Halloween, and you had better be careful on some college campuses. For example, Tufts in Boston has issued these guidelines for those in fraternities and sororities. Students could face severe disciplinary action. I'm talking to you. If you offend peers with your costumes or make anyone feel threatened or unsafe, students must not appropriate cultures or display racial stereotypes. That's good. No leprechauns allowed on Tufts. Also, I am assuming no Mexican sombreros, no Native American buckskin, no French fries, and absolutely no antipasta. It is now here in New York City, Ebony Williams, and from Washington, Katie Pavlich. So, Katie, I'm with the Tufts faculty on this one. Let's not have any cultural stuff that's offensive, right?
Bill, no. This just proves that that campuses in our country now are becoming more like mini communist countries every Halloween that passes. The idea that these students are getting worked up over being offended about Halloween costumes, which, by the way, are make-believe, just shows that the future of the country is at stake. College is supposed to be a place where you learn and get an education even about things that offend you. And if they can't get past the Halloween costume, they're not only not going to make it there, they're not going to make it in the real world either, and they don't deserve to.
But I don't think that college students deserve to be terrorized, Ebony.
And they don't, Bill.
That's
and
right.
I know that you are being facetious here, and I know that you think this is crazy, oversensitive PC madness.
You
but
don't
I assure
believe
you
that
it's
I'm
not.
with the Tufts faculty? You don't believe I'm behind them?
I always believe you, Bill. But here's what I also know. You know what? I agree with Katie. It's okay to be offended. Of course it is. We're adults. You're supposed to be on campus to learn how to be an adult. But I do think there's something different, though, between being offensive and feeling harmed or targeted or threatened.
Harmed or targeted?
Yeah.
What costume on earth could do that?
For
the
instance,
clowns, Bill. The clowns.
The clowns are okay, Katie. I'm not afraid of the clowns. You afraid of the clowns? No, but like when people dress up like the ISIS attacks, the attackers
But
and
I
stuff
don't
like
know.
that.
I've never seen
I've
anybody
seen that.
do that.
Oh, well, I have, Bill.
You've
I've
seen
seen
an
it on
ISIS
Instagram.
guy?
Yeah, the all black, the
Really?
machete.
I don't know what this is about.
And that stuff looks crazy.
No,
So I wish that people could police themselves,
Go ahead, Katie.
Bill, this is about the students at this university paying fees so that people can get a pension, so their tuition dollars can go towards funding the incidents of bias, intolerance, discrimination, and hate reporting hotline. There is someone who is paid to watch that hotline. And by the way, it's not about reporting ISIS folks. It's about reporting anything that anyone deems
and that's too
insensitive
broad.
culturally.
That's right.
Which
I
is
agree
ridiculous.
that's too broad. That's too broad. But, you know, the blackface, the nooses, and I've seen all of that on campuses, and that's not okay.
You know, I was going to go as Dracula, but I'm going to offend Romanians. I mean, they're going to be outraging me. We're not all vampires.
Too
What are
scary.
you going to be for Halloween, Ebony?
Well, I like to do various renditions of Janet Jackson from various
Janet,
eras.
she's.
So I do.
What do you go? What are you going to be, Katie?
I don't know. I just
You don't know?
I don't know. Now I'm
Monday.
confused with what I'm supposed to be.
choices.
I was Katniss Everdeen last year. This
You
year
were
I
what?
think I might be Katniss Everdeen from The Hunger Games. I was her last year.
I can see that.
Which
bow
might
and
be
arrow.
insensitive because
You can't
I
have a bow and arrow.
which is very
They're Native
violent.
Americans.
So I might get
That's
reported
a
to the police.
character, Bill.
You can't have a
Katie
bow and
can have
arrow.
a
All of
bow
it's
and arrow.
fake.
It's
All of
only
this is
Native
fake.
Americans can
Halloween
have it.
is
You're
fake.
appropriating their culture.
Katie, you can do it.
No, you can't. I don't want to see you dressed up like a Native American or living in a teepee. You can't.
None of it.
None of it. All right. And by the way, the Factor is the ultimate safe zone, everyone.
No, it's not.
Thank you very much. When we come right back, Miller on voter stress. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly in the Miller Time segment tonight. Voter stress. Recent ABC News poll asked, is the election a serious source of stress in your life? 23% say yes, it is very stressful. 22% say there is some stress, but it's not serious. 53% opine the election is not a source of stress for them, and 1% have no opinion. They're stoned and have no stress, and they don't know. Joining us now from Chicago, Sage of Southern California, Dennis Miller. What are you doing in the Windy City, Miller?
I just came in to do a performance bill, and it's nice to be back in Chicago, where a death certificate is considered voter ID. By the way, I think the Cubs have won more recently than the Republicans have here.
That's right. And it's been more than 100 years, so we're all following that. Now, it's called election stress disorder, Miller. People just want it to be over.
I said in 2004 we should not go in and do that whole thing with Iraq. It was a disaster because I said that Iran will take over and it'll totally destabilize the Middle East. But there's nobody bigger or better at the military than I am.
Are you telling me you're going to send American ground troops? 86 people. At the time, Secretary Clinton said this. Madam Secretary, appreciate your time tonight. Thank you very much for appearing on The Factor. I hope to see you in person soon. Thanks again.
I would look forward to that. Thanks, Bill. Take care.
Well, so far, we have not been able to book Mrs. Clinton, despite the fact that her staff told us an interview would happen, and time is growing short. We hope she will do what she said she would do. On the other hand, Mr. Trump has appeared on The Factor 47 times since he announced his candidacy. Here are some of the highlights. ISIS. How are you going to defeat ISIS?
I would hit them so hard. I would find our proper general. I would find the Patton or the MacArthur. I would hit them so hard your head would spin. Now remember, and I sent you the documents.
Into Syria?
I'm not telling you anything. And the reason I'm not is because if I run and I win, I don't want them to know the game plan.
Okay.
Let me
but
just say something.
if you want to hit them hard,
I'm probably going to have to say something. I have a way that would be very effective.